Hello everyone, welcome back to my show. I hope you are doing great. Today I am going to talk about one of the most amazing countries on this planet, the land of the rising sun. You guessed it right, Japan. A survey made by the government of Japan shows that most of the Indians know Japan for it being a peaceful and beautiful country. Very few are aware of Japanese culture and economic development. Before moving forward, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, please do subscribe and press the bell icon so that you will be notified when we upload a new video. Recently, in India, I saw one post flying around on social media saying that the Japanese people do not buy made in USA product because the USA attacked Japan in World War II. I researched about this and guess what? It's not true at all. Actually, Japan is the fourth largest export market and trading partner for US, and there are lots of American companies that are earning huge revenues in Japan. Also, the US played a significant positive part in improving Japan's economy after World War II. In order to understand Japan's economic miracle or how Japan became one of the largest economies in the world just after 23 years of World War II, we have to go back in time and look at its history. As most of you know, in World War II, Japan got seriously harmed when the US dropped two nuclear bombs, one on Hiroshima and one on Nagasaki. Then Japan surrendered, which ended the war in 1945. Because of the war, about 40% of Japan's industrial plants and infrastructure were destroyed, and production went back to the levels of 15 years in the past. As Japan was on the losing side, the US occupied Japan. At that time, the Japanese people were poor and unhappy, and because of this, there were chances that they could turn to communism like we can see now in today's China. The US knew this and they planned to democratize Japan. The US brought in many economic reforms, such as it established the free markets to empower the middle class. The US made Japan to adopt a constitution which will not allow Japan to have any army. US army in Japan during the Korean War encouraged Japanese workers, which forced companies to compete on innovation and technology. The US wasn't doing this to help Japan. Actually, at that time, the US did not have any friend in Asia to fight against big nations like China and Russia. So the US helped Japan so that it can help back US in the future. But in 1952, the US signed the peace treaty and freed Japan. Now let's talk about what Japan did after this, which led it to become one of the largest economies in the world. First, Japan rebuilt lost industrial capacity. Major investments were made in electric power, coal, steel and chemicals. Japan leveled up its production to pre-war level and worked so hard that its GDP expanded by more than 9% during 1953 to 1965, which was highest at that time for any country in the world. This super fast growth includes world's first bullet train made by Japan in 1964. Also in 1964 only, Japan hosted the Olympic Games, and India, even after 72 years of freedom, has not hosted a single Olympic game yet. This is because one of the biggest corruption scams in India occurred during the Commonwealth Games. Back to Japan. During that period, the Japanese government heavily invested in industries, built new highways, ports and developed new technology. Their investment in capital equipment increased by 30%, which was huge. They made it easier to start a business in Japan, pushing their economic growth. Another very important thing Japan did, which made a huge impact on its growth, that it changed its education system. The new education system was so amazing and well developed. It instilled human values in students such as morality, character, ethics and integrity. Japanese schools are more practical based and students are evaluated based on overall progress and not just on marks. Let me give you one example. Japanese people are so particular about time that in Japan, the average train delay time is only 24 seconds. Now, just remember your train experience in India. Japan is considered one of the safest countries in the world. If you drop your wallet full of cash, trust me, people will return it as it was found. This is a proven fact. These values are so deeply ingrained in them, which is why the world recognizes Japan as a disciplined, hardworking and trustworthy country. After World War II, because of their education system, Japan became the country with the highest literacy rate. This led to increased production capacity as it was easy to find a technically fit labor force. Initially, Japan played it very smart. While developing the industry, Japan avoided making mistakes and improved its industrial base through licensing from the US, patent purchases, imitation and improvement of foreign inventions. But in 1980s, the Japanese industry stepped up its research and development, and many firms became famous for their innovations and creativity. For example, Sony. Japan came up with so many process improvement techniques that are being used all around the world. You might know some of these techniques like Kaizen, Pokayoka and Kata. In 2011, when a tsunami and earthquake hit Japan, it lost a big part of its infrastructure and economy got affected. But the culture and attitude have immensely helped Japan to recover from it in a very short period of time. Now let's talk about what we as India can learn from Japan. The first and most important thing is education. As most of you know, India has a very old and not very good education system. Our education system gives more importance to marks than quality. Schools do not grade students based on their performances in all the fields, but just grade based on the marks. Schools do not encourage artistic students at an early age, which is why India does not have great artists. In schools, doing something different or asking so many questions is considered disrespectful towards teachers, and this is how India is killing its innovative minds. Indian schools do not teach behavioral science, but what I saw is very shocking. In a primary school's textbook, the way they have differentiated beautiful lady and the ugly lady is just unacceptable. You can see that the lady with fair skin and western attire is beautiful, and the lady with the dark skin and traditional attire is ugly. Now, if we are teaching this to kids who are future of India, then how can we expect a united India, which is very important for India's growth? Actually, India is going down the slope as there is no single Indian university in the top 300 universities in the world. This results in not having enough skilled labor in India, and as we have seen in one of our previous videos, almost 80% of graduates in India are unemployable. I know for a big country like India, it is difficult to change the education system, but it is not impossible. And if India wants to move ahead, improving the education system is very crucial. Another thing is the way the Indian government works is based on 1935's Government of India Act. This act was enacted by British government, which was mainly focused on managing Indian colonies and not developing them. Even though India does not follow this act now, but as you know, most of the Indian government work is being carried out as it was being carried out 30-40 years before. This is the reason India is very much behind in the ranking of ease of doing business compared to the Japan and China. If this will continue, why any company would want to invest in India? So it is very important for India to adopt technology and bring in business friendly measures to boost the development. Along with the government, the industrial sector should focus on quality products by considering the world market. Today, with the help of e-commerce companies like Amazon, small manufacturers can easily sell their products globally. This shows that there are huge opportunities for India if it improves itself. So that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this episode. All the best. Do let me know in the comment section what do you think about this, or if you have any more suggestions. If you like this episode, please leave a like and share it with your friends and family, and do subscribe to our channel. Thank you guys. Bye bye. Take care.